Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Sue of Bendnstretch with Sue. In today's video, I wanted to bring you a short yoga practice, but first I wanted to introduce it through FitBeast, who so kindly sent me this yoga mat. They've also sent me a few other props that I'll be incorporating in some videos to follow really soon. Now, if you've been here before on my channel, you'll notice the set's a little different. For the last month or so, I've been enjoying some beautiful weather down in Florida and enjoying a break from the cold. Today it's a little bit cooler here, especially for the locals. It's about 21 or 23 degrees Celsius, which if I was back at home, it would be exactly that, but on the minus scale. So I'm happy to be here, even if I have to wear an extra little bit of a layer. It's a little windy as well, so I'm hoping that I can still bring this practice to you outside right here by the swimming pool. Now back to FitBeast. As far as this yoga mat that they sent me, I was really happy with, I had the opportunity to select the color, and I chose a purple, darker purple with a lighter kind of mauve underneath. Now this mat is also 6 millimeters in thickness, which is usually my preferred thickness for a yoga mat. It pads the joints really well, so anytime that I'm doing any kneeling on the mat, I've got some extra cushioning, and especially for the elbows too, when I'm planking or doing any kind of hovering position or even a dolphin pose, having that extra cushion for the elbows is extremely helpful. They've also sent, I'll address this towel here, that they sent for cleaning it. Quite often people will throw their yoga mat in a front-loading washing machine, which can work well with some mats. It's, however, not recommended for this mat, but simply using this towel and water, you can really give it a really good wipe down. You might even use a little bit of a milder solution as well. So long as it's not oily and creates buildup on your mat, it'll prevent you from slipping and sliding, especially if you're using your mat for hot practice or you do perspire a lot. I also was happy to have this strap. Usually I'm a little picky on the type of strap that's included with a yoga mat. I like to be able to adjust exactly how the position of this loop would be. And I was pleasantly surprised to see that you could, depending on how thick or how large you roll up your mat, this one will adjust and adapt to whatever thickness you have. I usually like to throw my mat in a yoga bag, and one that is really, really large. I don't like to have to try to squeeze my mat into a bag. I find that's really time consuming and a big waste of time. I just like to roll it up. In fact, most of the time I don't even roll my mat. I fold it in half and then roll it from there, which causes it to be a bit thicker. And the reason for that is I find that if you're on the floor in any kind of yoga studio, you're picking up all the dirt from the floor as you roll your mat, and you're rolling it right into your mat. So folding it in half and then rolling it up, I find leaves all the dirt behind, and then you can safely loop this strap, because then your mat would be larger, loop it around the mat. The other thing about this mat is that it is quite affordable. Canadian, it's $31.99 plus shipping, and depending if you choose any of Fitbit's other products, you may actually qualify for some free shipping. They also include some videos, some tutorial videos, which I'm a little biased. I'd rather you tune into my channel for those tutorials, but they do offer those and have them available to you. So color-wise, as I mentioned, I have the darker purple, lighter purple. There's a dark blue, light blue, as well as a light blue, light pink combination. So without further ado, I am going to bring you into a nice, easy practice using this mat. found it to be quite comfortable for yoga as well as Pilates and even for my workouts. My daughter and son-in-law were here recently, and they used the same mat for some of their more athletic workouts and loved it and really raved about it. So I'll be sure to link FitBeast down below in the description box for your convenience. We're not affiliated. They were kind enough to send this to me, and I wanted to offer a review on it. So let's get going now. So beginning your practice by sitting beautifully elongated over the sit bones, allowing the shoulders to melt away from your ears. And as you close the eyes, we take a few moments to simply become present, letting go of all that's happened already today, all that you are anticipating to happen later on today. So just being right here, right now. Bringing the awareness to the breath. You can release the backs of the hands over the knees and take some time for some deep, full breaths. Taking the time to really enjoy the sensation of breath moving in and out through your body. Every time you exhale, you really feel the release, letting go of tension, stress. On your next inhalation, you can float the arms out to the sides, just opening them wide as you gaze up to the sky, opening the eyes, bringing palms together. Let them land at the heart center. Your next inhale presses those palms right through the center as you reach to the sky, open up through the chest, and let the arms fall open ever so deliberately. From here, we take some shoulder rolls, which really allow the tension that we hold in the neck and the upper back shoulders to be released completely. And as you drop the ear to the shoulder, feel a stretch on the opposite side. You can even deepen that stretch just by lightly placing the right hand on the left side of the head or vice versa. Breathing into that open space, and then release it and bring it back to the center. Inhale and then exhale to drop opposite ear to the other shoulder. Same thing here, taking that option if you like, deepening the stretch just by placing the hand lightly on the right side of the head. And then as you release it, floating that arm down, let's take a few shoulder rolls here once again. Taking an inhale to float those hands back up. Exhale as you bring the hands to the heart. Let's cross opposite ankle in front. I always like to do this in order to change the stretch up on the hips. We tend to put our favorite side first. You can even slide the feet in a little bit more toward the groin as you maybe place one ankle in front of the other, or just keep them crossed as they were. You just want to have the opposite one in front if you adopt this stretch. As you reach the arms wide on your inhalation, gazing upward, exhale and bring the left hand in front of you, and then floating the right hand in line with the tailbone back behind you. Release those shoulders down and really feel yourself growing a little taller as you turn and gaze back past your right shoulder. Take another breath here. Each inhale grows you a little bit taller, a little longer through the spine. And then exhale to unwind. Breathing in to float the arms up, gazing up. Exhale as we do the same stretch to the opposite side. Gazing back, breathing smoothly, softening the jaw, allowing those legs to relax as well. So The knees might open a little bit wider. And let it go. Come on back, center. Take a big, beautiful breath. Once again, palms come together. And let's move on to the knees. And we'll just sit back onto the heels. So you want to sit to the back of the mat as you remain nice and tall here. And aligning yourself as we reach upward. Breathing in and breathing out to bring the hands back behind you to interlace fingers. If you have the availability, you could bring hands to opposite wrists, maybe opposite elbows, or even bringing the hands together in a reverse prayer. Now, some of you may find it a little bit more challenging to be sitting on the heels, so you may prefer to come up into a kneeling position instead. Pressing through the tops of the feet here is going to allow you to get a great stretch through the ankles. You might find that a little bit foreign if you are used to being in dorsiflexion all the time. So go easy, listen to your body first and foremost. As we release that hold, take a big inhale, lifting the palms together overhead. Again, you can stay kneeling or sit back on the heels as we interlace the fingers. You could use a strap here if you have one nearby, which is always a good idea when you're practicing. And then bringing the crown of the head to the mat as you lift the arms up and over, allowing them to feel very heavy overhead. You're keeping the hips lifted as well. And then carefully releasing. As you bring the hands under the shoulders, spread those fingers nice and wide. Now, if you did have the FitBeast mat and strap, this is another instance where the strap could be useful. From here, let's stretch the wrists a little bit. You can open up the fingers at first out to the sides and really keeping them separated to get some good stretch into the heels of the hands, into the base of the fingers. And if this feels pretty good, you might even be able to turn the fingers towards your knees. So just rotating externally and then in toward those knees. And from here, you can gently shift the hips back a wee bit, or maybe a little bit more if you've got lots of flexibility. If you have injury, however, with your wrists, you are going to want to go real easy here. We tend to neglect the wrists quite often until something goes wrong with them. So we just want to give them a little bit of love here. Now, as we release this, let's press the top of the hand under the shoulder. So if you can see, I have my wrists pretty much in line with the shoulder. I can do one at a time, or I might be able to do both of them and then bring more weight back right at those wrist joints. And this can feel like a really great stretch for those also. Then let's take it right back. We move into a child's pose as we allow the forehead to melt down, closing the eyes and softening. As we reach the fingers a little further forward, standing and tucking the toes under, let's lift it up into a downward facing dog. In downward dog, we can kind of walk it out a little bit to get a deeper stretch into the backs of the legs and to the hamstrings all the way to the Achilles tendon, where we also give the fascia a really good stretch. If you are able to get your heels down to the floor, why not pick up the toes to make the stretch even deeper? Try to slide the shoulders away from the ears here so you're not collapsing everything into the neck. And as we soften the knees, you can take some little steps to bring your feet all the way to the top of your mat. So from here, let's take an inhale, flatten the back. And as we exhale, bend both knees, take the left hand underneath your face as you reach the right arm up, lifting the right hip to the sky as well as you gaze up. And And then bringing that right hand under the face, bringing the left arm up. Now, if it's a little too much, you could just rest your hand on the hip. If you have really tight shoulders, you might find it a little restrictive to extend all the way up. Try to take your gaze up as well, so you open through the chest and create some rotation of the spine. So bring the arm down, let's slowly unroll, make our way up to a standing tall in Tadasana, mountain pose, which is a strong yet easy pose. So as you align the body, think about reaching through the crown of the head, but yet sliding the jaw back ever so slightly to come into that perfect anatomical position, especially as you release the arms and just turn the palms forward slightly. Let's take a big inhale, reach it up, look up. And as you exhale, dive it down to a forward fold. Let's lengthen through the spine, and from here, step back with the right foot, planting that heel down. So right away, you'll feel a really great stretch in the calf muscle here. And trying to bring that left knee over your left ankle. You can keep the left hand, maybe on the ankle, on the mat outside. You could use a block here, or you might bring it all the way up onto your thigh as you turn your back foot out to come into side angle. Extended side angle as you bring the arm alongside the ear, reaching and really lengthening through that side body. From here, let's float it up to a warrior two. Gazing past the left fingers and making sure you stay with an opening of your left knee toward the left baby toe. And as we turn the left toes forward, we'll reverse that warrior two to the other side, gazing past the right fingertips as we bend that right knee, pressing it open to the baby toe. Moving into our side angle position. Extended side angle. Gazing up past that upper arm. Keeping the tailbone just slightly tucked under. Take an inhale, extend a little bit more, and then as you exhale, let's bring the hand down and we'll pivot around to bring ourselves to a downward dog. Facing the opposite direction. And from here, give the head a little turn, side to side, shake it out, yes, no, a few times. Moving forward into a high plank. You can keep it straight from the toes, you can come down to your knees, but we're coming all the way down to our mat. Releasing with control. From here, press the tops of the feet into your mat, and let's keep the hands outside the chest as we press it up. Breathe in to open through the heart, and breathe out as you articulate with control to roll all the way back down again. Breathing in, once again, pressing up, keeping those shoulders down, keeping that tuck of the tailbone, keeping the pelvis heavy, and then articulating your way back down once again. Let's do it one more time. Breathing in, lengthening, opening, prying the chest open, using the hands here. Create some space between fingers, and then slowly roll it back down. As you bring the hands to the top of the mat, you can stack the right ear over top of those hands and just slide out your left knee to give your lower back a nice easy release. As you stretch out that leg again, let's bring the hands back outside the chest and press it up, push it back. Big toes together as you part your knees to move into a wide angle child's pose. Melting the heart down and allowing some heaviness and softness. As we slowly unroll, let's move back into a downward facing dog. And from here, I'm going to walk the feet, keeping the legs fairly straight as I take little baby steps to bring the feet all the way to the top of the mat. When I arrive, flattening the back, inhaling, exhaling to sink the hips nice and low and moving right into boat pose, Navasana, as I test my balance, some core strength, and bringing those thighs nice and close to the abdomen. Again, trying to roll the shoulders down. And from here, let's float the legs down. Inhale, reach it up. And exhale, melt it down. This is soothing and calming. These forward bending poses are considered female in nature, so they really allow you to calm and nurture your soul. Allow that peace to just really flood your entire nervous system. So we slowly unroll. Come back to sitting nice and tall. You can keep the legs straight if you like, or you can bend the knees as we ease into a supine position. From here, you can back up the heels, bring them a little closer to your bottom, palms down, opening up through the heart, curling that tailbone up as we come up into a bridge. If you like, you can interlace the fingers to give you a little bit more leverage so that you can push through those pinkies to lift the hips up a little bit higher, giving you a bigger stretch through the front lines of the body. And slowly release it. Bringing those knees into the chest, you can give yourself a really nice big squeeze. Massaging the back a little bit. Bringing the nose toward the knees as you reach for the outer edges of the feet. Let the head come down, soles of the feet point up to the sky as you part your knees and massage not only the back, but the hip joints here as well. Now you can stay with the legs bent if you have a little bit more flexibility. You might open up those legs nice and wide, allowing gravity to help you in stretching those inner thigh muscles, which really do contribute to tight hips as well. So we want to work on loosening up those hips, no matter if you're really, really active or if you tend to sit a lot. As you bring a bend back to the legs, let's reach through the right leg. Keep it nice and long. And we're going to take the right hand to the left knee, open up the left arm, and bring that across. So gazing over to your your left hand, bring that left knee, left foot over to the right side. You can stay like this, or you might want to extend the leg. Maybe you're able to reach your big toe with your peace fingers on your right hand. You could use your strap here also, wrapping it around your left foot and holding on to it with your right hand helps to extend the reach. Breathing peacefully. This really promotes flexibility of spine, calming of the nervous system, and rebalancing the spine as well. We've done some forward bending, some twisting, some back bending, so this just helps to rebalance everything. You release it, bringing both knees in once again. Give yourself a nice little hug here, and making sure your spine is nicely lined onto your mat. You can extend out your left leg as you use your right hand or left hand to your right knee, open the right arm and bring it across. So same thing here. Keeping that right shoulder blade down. And again, you might explore making that deeper, holding on to the big toe or maybe holding on to the ankle or the outside edge of the foot with your hand with a strap. Turning away from the leg and just enjoying the ease of that stretch. You let it go. Come on back. Feeling more prepared now after just working through the body a little bit, even though this is shorter practice. Just feeling more at ease in your body where you can perhaps relax a little bit more easily. So if you have just a few moments or maybe a little bit more time, that you can just lay here closing the eyes, taking a mental checklist through the body, ensuring that you are relaxing heavily on the mat from the backs of your heels, softening the toes all the way up the entire body right to the top of the head. Breathe easy, relax, and enjoy. I'd like to thank you very much for your time today. I hope you enjoyed this practice, and I'll see you in the next video. Namaste. I hope that you enjoyed this quick little practice, and if you haven't already, I'd love it if you'd subscribe. Truly would appreciate it. I appreciate it if you already have. Be sure to give me one of these if you like the content, and hit that notification bell so you'll know when I upload some new content. You can check it out and check me out in the next video.